You are listening to the audio production of The Hidden Story of Narnia, a book-by-book guide to C.S. Lewis's spiritual themes by Will Vaus, published by Audiobooks. This book was originally published by Winged Lion Press and is read by the author. Dedicated to Becky, who is as forgiving as Polly, gentle as Susan, valiant as Lucy, brave as Aravis, persevering as Jill. Preface by Waller Jenkins, Hertfordshire, England, March 2010. When I was around 10 years old, I used to enjoy the family's weekly trip to the local public library. It was there that I discovered C.S. Lewis's Narnia stories, which I have loved ever since. They are cracking stories, written in a loving way, but there was something else indefinable that drew me to them. The Silver Chair has always been my favorite Narnia story, containing my favorite character, apart from Aslan, Puddleglum the Marshwiggle. At the end of the story, when Prince Caspian lies dead in a stream, the lion weeps tears more precious than the earth would be if it was a single solid diamond. To me, this speaks of the love of God. Aslan brings Caspian back to life with a drop of his blood. But there was something that I was puzzled about. Eustace says, "Hasn't he, died?" And Aslan replies, "Yes, he has died. Most people have, you know. Even I have. There are very few who haven't." It was this "most people have died" that I didn't understand. I remember asking my father, who suggested that I write and ask the author, which is exactly what I did. Some months later, my mother came into my bedroom saying, "Anne, I think you've got a letter from C.S. Lewis." I can't tell you how thrilled I was, although I have to say that he didn't answer my question properly. He explained about Aslan's death, rather than the most people. Thinking about it now, I think what he meant was that most people who have lived since the time of Adam have died, rather than those who are living now. Anyway, I was not too worried about that because he explained a lot of other things that I never thought to ask. There was a deeper meaning behind those stories that I had loved so much, the story of Christ. I showed this letter to lots of people, family, friends, teachers, vicars, etc., but it wasn't until it got into the hands of Douglas Gresham that people started to really take notice of it. And I, who do not like being in the limelight, found myself something of a celebrity. Again, I had something of a surprise to receive an email from Mr. Vaus, who asked me if I would read the manuscript of his book, The Hidden Story of Narnia. Amazingly to me, this book uses my letter as the outline. As soon as I started reading, I knew I was in for a treat. Will Vaus has the same gift of clarity as Mr. Lewis. Using the Bible and other Lewis books, he has gone into some depth to examine this deeper meaning. However, this is not simply a study book. He has managed to retain what I call the dancing lawn factor, the sheer joy and merriment of Lewis's style. When I finished reading the book, I felt like all the missing pieces of a jigsaw puzzle had simply fallen into place. The book ends with an all-important chapter explaining to the readers that Narnia is not inaccessible, and Mr. Vaus shows how we can all live like Narnians. The Hidden Story of Narnia shows how the Chronicles of Narnia can be not simply a wonderful set of stories, but the beginning of an even better story, one which goes on forever, in which every chapter is better than the one before.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?